past, fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful laws and past. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Show here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, Izuku Midoriya and Celine, they set off to find Tan, a man, a bookkeeper, with information as to where William might be buried or hidden away. Now, they discover that Celine's necklace is a key, or half of a key, to open his resting place. And they then encountered Marcus, who did then attack both of them, feeding on Celine, and then leaving after killing Midoriya. Now, this was whenever the Immortal did show up, and take Celine away along with Midoriya to try and help them recuperate from their injuries. Now, we do cut back to the boat, as Celine, she's currently tearing apart the armory to get everything together. All the ammunition she can carry, along with some weapons. Now, we do cut to another room, where the Immortal, he is just looking down at his descendant, as he does say his name, talking about how he's very sorry. He should have paid attention to him more. Maybe then, this war would not have happened. Maybe then, he would have still been alive. And so would his great descendant. And him then talking about how he has many regrets. This boy dying is just another on top of a mountain. Him then going to sit down and look at Midoriya's body, as he actually would look to see Midoriya's finger, or his middle finger, twitch. Him confused by that, and actually standing up, before feeling Midoriya's hand, and feeling his finger then twitch again, as his hands, they don't feel so cold. But there's a hole in his heart. There's a hole throughout his entire chest. How is this possible? I'm going to reach into a holster and pulling out a blade, before he does just slice his hand open. And he would go to pour blood into the wound, along with actually putting his hand directly above Midoriya's face, and allowing blood to pour into his mouth. Now, he does just wonder, is this the properties of the hybrid? Can they never truly die? Now, he does do this up to a certain point, him being forced to wrap his hand, and watching as Midoriya's body does continue on the healing process, where it left off. Now, this is where Midoriya, his entire torso, completely does regenerate, but he still does not wake up. Even after putting his ear to Midoriya's chest, he doesn't even hear a heartbeat. And he does just wonder, that's not good. Now, this is whenever Celine actually would barge in, turning and asking exactly what he's doing in here. I came to see him. You have no right to. I am aware. I have failed. However, I don't think he's gone completely. Look at him. Her turning her eyes and asking what happened. I don't know. I have theories. However, I'm just as confused. Hmm. He could be a truly undead. A truly undead? What does that mean? Well, there's a lot of things it could mean. Think about it like this. He could be a zombie. You do know what a zombie is, correct? The only way you can kill him is to kill the brain. Marcus didn't do that. So he'll be alive. Is that really possible? We don't know. He's studyable for right now. If he does wake up, then that does prove he's alive. However, he might be hibernating. Even then, I don't feel safe knowing that he's here. I cannot allow you to keep him. And what else? I'm going to take him with us. Really? Yes. I'm going to take a group of your men and go find your sons. And I'm sadly going to have to put them down. Well, I somewhat understand your logic. I don't fully approve, but so be it, the man would say, closing his eyes and looking away, as he resists every single urge he can to stop Celine, as she would walk through the door with Midoriya on her shoulder. Now, a group of men do get loaded into a helicopter, and so would Celine. Her actually telling the pilot to let her fly for right now. And the guy does stand up, Celine being able to smell that he's human. Now, this is whenever she actually would get everything put together and start to fly in the direction of where her home used to be. And they do eventually arrive a few hours later. Now, Celine does actually look inside the bag that Midoriya is currently stuck in, or that she did put him in, as he is also seatbelted in. Her actually bring her hand up to his cheek, and find that his body is getting heat once again. Good. Rest right now. Gain your strength back, and then we'll figure this all out. For right now, we can't let them escape. Now, this would be whenever Celine, she actually would jump down. Her and a group of men heading into where William is being housed. Now, they do make their way throughout the entire facility. And whenever they do come up for air, they're able to walk through the catacombs. And Celine, she does remember parts of her past that happened within these walls. Centuries ago, her family built them. And they feel like a lifetime ago. They were many, many lifetimes ago. Now, they do eventually find a place and begin to investigate it, as it is a open container on the wall. Celine walking up and seeing it open, being able to pull the key out, as it would close. It's empty. Be on guard. That means that the werewolf escaped. Now, they would continue throughout the entire area and try to search, as the team does encounter Marcus. Him feeding on the humans, as he does then throw them to the side and basically take them all down, leaving Celine to defend herself against Marcus, as she would actually pull two guns out of her bag and begin a firefight with the man. Now, with that, Marcus does try to get in close, and Celine, she does have a specialized thing that will help her greatly within the battle, as she does try to throw light grenades throughout the entire area, Marcus seeing those once again as he does go to hide. Now, Celine does bring the roof down, and the area, it is blown open. Now, whenever that does actually happen, we do have a man who does try to head down, taking a line and going to zip line down there. As it does happen, he actually is attacked by William, who he does climb up the line and kill the man, as he would then get aboard the helicopter. Now, once he is on board, you do have him attack Midoriya and actually bite into his neck, as he does start ripping into it and trying to feed on him. And you do then have the pilot, who does just spin around with a shotgun and fire silver slugs into his back. As soon as he does fire one round, the guy, or William, does actually scream out in pain, turning around and going to attack the pilot. Now, we do actually then have Midoriya, whose heart does start to beat once again, as he actually does throw his head back against the helicopter, as he does start to change once again. Now, the moment he actually does change completely, he does break free, grabbing William and pulling him out of the pilot's bay, as the two do go downwards out of the helicopter. Now, Midoriya and William, they go falling downwards into the cavern below. As that does happen, we do actually have Marcus, watching as William does hit against a rock and then land in the water. Midoriya himself actually going to try and land better, as he does laying straight onto his feet, before just standing straight up, and looking over at Marcus. How is that possible? I don't know. What the hell happened? But you're dead. Now, Midoriya actually would turn to see William stand up out of the water, as he does roar at him, as he does rush towards his uncle. Now, the moment Midoriya does actually go to attack William, William does retaliate, showing that he's the strongest of the immortals, as he does punch Midoriya clean across the face, as he does send him flying. Now, the moment that does happen, Midoriya does dislocate his jaw, him actually going to fly against a wall and smash into it, before bringing his hand up and popping his jaw back into place. Midoriya actually turning his head to see the fight with Celine. Celine and Marcus, they're going at relatively somewhat of an even pace. Both of them have centuries worth of experience, and Celine is able to almost predict Marcus himself. The guy's a battle tactician, and Celine, he knows is well trained. She was trained in how to kill, so there must be some sort of battle plan that she memorized as to how to fight. It must be ingrained into every single one of them, isn't it? A death dealer? Come on. I know you got this, Celine. Now, Midoriya does look down towards the water and see a bag of weapons, as he does go to run over. Now, the moment Midoriya does do that, he does reach down into the bag, as he does pull out a pump-action shotgun. Him just looking at it before looking downwards into the bag and trying to grab a box of slugs. Him pulling it out as he does actually have to dodge away at William, before he does just open the container and go to load a slug in, as he does pump the shotgun and go to fire it directly into William, him being able to blast in William's left side, as William does scream out in pain. Marcus looking away from Celine as she does go to try and attack him, her being able to get a punch directly into his gut, as he does try to attack with his wing. Now, Midoriya actually does ask Celine if she only brought firearms, as he does go to fire another slug into William, as Marcus does quickly hit Celine hard, sending her flying away and smashing into a wall, as rubble does begin to start covering her body. Now, he does then go to try and fly directly towards Midoriya, as Celine, she does get her hand out underneath the rubble, and pull herself upwards, before grabbing away her waist and pulling out a throwing weapon, her clicking down as she does throw it directly towards Marcus, as it does hit directly into his back, and then explode. Now, Marcus does fall forwards with a violent scream, as his body, it hurts, as he's also on fire. Him actually going to roll into the water as Midoriya and William are both still fighting. Now, Midoriya does try to talk some sense into his uncle, talking about how he's the descendant of Corvinus. He is his nephew, and he's here to try and understand him. William is still growling and howling at him, as he does just go to throw a hand down at Midoriya. Midoriya actually going to grab his hand with both of his own, and being able to actually stop it. William trying to throw out his left claws, and going to try and slash Midoriya's gut, as Midoriya just does throw the hand down to his right, smashing into William's claw as he does then go to grab his uncle in a chokehold, and then just hold on to him. Now, Midoriya does try to choke William out, as he does tell Celine to throw something at him now. Her actually hesitating for a second, before Midoriya does tell her to do it, as he does bite into William's face and get him in the ear, as he would rip out a chunk of flesh, William screaming out in pain. Now, this would be whenever Marcus, he actually does get back up, and Celine, she does throw out the blades. The moment this does actually happen, I stuttered so much. She does watch as he does go to grab one out of the air, as it does stab into his hand and blow off Marcus's left arm, the other one actually being able to hit William in his gut, and blow up there, sending Midoriya and him smashing backwards into the wall, as Midoriya actually does think that they killed the Lycan, since that explosion took out his entire midsection. Now, Midoriya, he does just stop paying attention to William, and pay attention to Marcus, who he's trying to regenerate his wings. The top portion of his back is together, and his right wing has formed. However, it's his left side that's the problem. His arm and part of his face got blown off in the explosion. And Midoriya, he does just rush towards him, calling him a weak little vampire, as Marcus does go to actually fight against Midoriya. Midoriya telling Celine to not intervene. Now, Celine does just watch, as Midoriya does begin to tear apart his uncle. Now, Marcus is trying to fight with the wing, and the only hand he does have. Midoriya being able to grab his wing and break it, as he would actually be able to grab his right hand, and then actually grab him by his forearm and shove the bone backwards, as it does begin to start poking outwards of his bicep. Now, he does scream out in pain, as he does then begin to try and revert back, as he does just sit there on the ground for a minute, him trying to pull his arm back into place. I don't understand. I thought I killed you. Midoriya would say in his Lycan form. I thought so. You should have made sure. Besides, I know what you're doing. Midoriya would say. I'm actually going to reach down and grab him by his throat, telling him that he's not going to allow him to. As he does, then reach his fingers into it and pull upwards, ripping out his uncle's throat and jaw, before just bringing up his hand and smashing it downwards into his uncle's chest, and ripping out his beating heart. Now, Midoriya does say that to him that he's not done, as Marcus does just lay there with fear in his eyes. As Midoriya would show his vampire fangs, as they do grow a bit larger, and they do look bigger than normal. Midoriya going to sink his teeth into his uncle's neck. Now, with that we do have Celine, who is watching this display, and wondering if Izuku is okay. Now, Midoriya is feeding on Marcus, and he's going to make sure that there's no blood left in his system. As Midoriya, he does stay there for a minute, and he does just tear Marcus apart, and just start to eat certain limbs. Now, after this is all said and done, Midoriya does go to stand, and wipe away his face, turning around and going to try and finish off William. He wants to dismember him just to make sure. However, his body has vanished, and he's left with a multitude of questions. He knew that he should have killed him then and there. Now, with that being said, Celine would run up to him and pull him into a hug, asking him if he's okay. Now, Midoriya does just somewhat lean a bit backwards, grab Celine by her face, and give her a kiss. Her surprised at how energetic Midoriya is, as he does pull away, asking exactly what the hell happened. You don't know? You died. What? I don't understand it. You had your heart ripped out. You had a hole through your chest. Her running her hand along Midoriya's chest, saying that it's impossible. But he's alive. At this point, I'm pretty sure the impossible is just my name. Perhaps. But we have a problem now. With Marcus gone, we need to find William. I don't think he'll get that far. He's injured. Besides, we should figure out what's going on with our people, don't you think? Now, Celine does agree, walking over and picking up a walkie-talkie, as she does try to radio in at the guy in the helicopter. Now, there is silence over the radio, and this does confuse her, as she does just go to ask for a pickup. Now, we do cut to while Midoriya was feeding on Marcus, and tearing him limb from fucking limb. As William, he was trying to get back up, and he was finally able to at least gain some senses or control over himself for a bit of time. As him feeding on Midoriya, and Midoriya feeding on him, the way his body is acting, and the way it's changing, along with the blood of the immortal. Now, he did actually start to begin to revert back slowly, and he did feel himself growing tinier, as he did sneak away. Now, he was able to sneak around Celine, and grab the rope that was there, beginning to climb up it at incredible speeds. Since Midoriya, he went berserk, and Celine was struck with horror. Now, whenever he did get there, he did just order the man at gunpoint to take him away, or at least growl at him. Now, he was then sitting in the passenger seat, looking at the guy as he does just look at his body. Now, this is quite confusing to him, since this is the first time he's been human ever since his bite. What year is it? Who are you? My name is William. What year is it? Him saying the current year. And William being confused, asking about this flying thing, or this bird. It's, called a helicopter. Now, the man is trying to at least get back to the boat, and slowly or subtly alert his people, since he has to radio in upon approach, as the radio would go off asking about pickup. William looking down at it as he does pick it up off the guy's gear and crush it, asking him to head for mainland, and he does refuse, as they're currently waiting to land. Now, William does just say that this is useless for biting into the guy's neck and looking through his memories, seeing the way the world has changed, and exactly what is going on. Now, he actually would look through this for a minute, as the guy, he's just spazzing out and losing control of his body. Him actually going to grab the steering thing, or the stick, and slowly move it to the left. Wondering about Japan, the place he's headed to now. The last thing I remember is a quaint little town. This place is bigger. I see. This could be interesting. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.